Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Integer, and tonight I present to you a video about a brand new feature that Steam has released just a few hours ago, called Steam Broadcasting. Now, the name is quite self-explanatory, and you can immediately tell what the new function Steam has presented is all about. However, to me, it is very, very important and relevant, simply because about a month ago, actually around 2 months ago, I began my Twitch channel where I regularly stream Steam and other games. So this early in my lifeline of internet persona who creates content for YouTube and Twitch, to see another platform come up that might, if not today, one day in the future, stand next to Twitch and say, hey, we do things different. Come over to us, try us out, instead of using that only platform that is available right now. That is something I welcome a lot. And I've decided to delve a little bit deeper and see ins and outs of what's available to us about Steam Broadcasting. So, to begin with the basics, what is it? Well, it's a, as it says here, it's a very simple function, very basic function. Watch friends play with the click of a button. So, you want to see somebody else play a video game on your friends list, maybe a game you haven't seen before, maybe a game you're interested in and not sure whether you should buy it or not, and don't really feel like going to YouTube because you need to open your browser and look it up. All you have to do is right click on your friend and press watch the game, as for instance such, to run in front of the future events, be able to watch other people play, and so that other people would be able to watch you play. You need to opt in for Steam Beta Update, which you do as following: go to Settings, Account, and Better Participation, press Change and either opt out or opt in. I've already got it opt in. I've broadcasted for roughly half an hour. I watched other people broadcast, so I would be able to produce video having some insights about this whole thing. From what I gathered, it's a basic at this step. It's still in beta, obviously. However, it's very solid, and the few functions that Steam Broadcasting has, it manages to do very, very well. Now, I will go into more details later. There are basically two ways how you can watch someone play a video game. You can either watch your friend, or if your friends aren't playing the games you want to watch, or you simply want to watch something else, you go to Community and Home. There's a new tab called Broadcasts, where you will find all the broadcasts that people selected as publicly available. Otherwise, they wouldn't show up here. You can only broadcast for your friends or selected people. Alternatively, you can go to the page of the game you're interested in, say Insurgency, Community Hub, if I'm not mistaken, and broadcasts, and we will see all Insurgency broadcasts currently right now. Not a lot of them, well, quite a few of them, but few viewers. So yeah, this is how you go and watch a broadcast. Again, this is at very early stages. It's if you go to store homepage, which is probably the most seen page on Steam right now, has been for a long time. There's not a word mentioned about Steam Broadcasting, and I would say if they implemented the broadcasting on this page right here, it would increase the visibility and usability of it by a few times at the very least. However, it's still very early, and that might happen, or they might find, or Steam might find other ways to promote their function, which I think, if I'm completely blunt with you and honest, is absolutely brilliant. So let's hop back to back to the news announcement about Steam broadcasting. So yeah, if we go to the frequently asked questions, you've got a good decent of information, a slightly bit more on the inside how it works. You've got all the basics, but at the same time it tells you a little bit more. So at first, like I've said, because I'm a Twitch streamer, I come here and I immediately say, okay, so when I stream on Twitch I use OBS, which is Open Broadcaster Software. You have in settings to choose what bitrate to stream at, what resolution, what frame rate you want to choose, and all of these other options. And I immediately think, this Steam has this option. Do you have the options menu? You do, and you find it at going to Steam, Settings, Broadcasting. Now it's not a whole lot of options. If anything, there's barely any. You have 4 different video dimensions you can be streaming at: 1080, 720, 480, and 360. Mind you, they are all at 30 FPS. So there's no way of altering FPS as of yet, or I haven't been able to discover a way to change it. Bitrates, you have 6 bitrates available, from 750 kilobits to 3.5 megabits. It doesn't seem like technically it should struggle to broadcast at 1080p, even though it's 30 frames per second. It should still struggle to broadcast at 1080p on 3.5 megabits per second. But strangely enough, I've had a broadcast a little earlier, and a friend of mine, he watched my broadcast, and he said that at 1080p and at 3,500 kilobits per second, the stream was clear, crisp and clear. And the most important thing that what he said is that there was no lag, there was no latency issues, there was no video artifacting, and no other visible and present visual errors associated with the broadcast. In other words, although Steam doesn't as of yet offer a huge range of settings available, however, the stream quality for the few settings that they've got going is absolutely great. It's A, it's solid, B, it's crystal clear, and 3, it's convenient, because obviously it's implemented into the Steam system. So how does it seem to be working? Well, I wasn't able to find a whole lot of information about it. There's probably some huge research going on in some forum, maybe on Steam, maybe somewhere else, Reddit, Twitter, you know, you name it, somewhere else. And these things will probably be answered very soon, if they aren't answered yet. However, the way I see it, that Steam changed or replaced both the transmitting software, which is what I call OBS, as well as the receiving software, or the receiving website, which is Twitch. So I've spoken to a few people who were very excited about the implementation of Steam broadcasting, and they said they would really like to see broadcasting with OBS via Steam. And then I thought, well, actually, yeah, that could be a good idea. And then I started thinking that actually that is not a possibility, simply because Steam does the encoding itself as a software, and it also uses its own platform for broadcasting it and allowing other users to watch that broadcast. So not only replaces Twitch or is an alternative to Twitch, it is also an alternative to OBS. Now, where this comes as a relevant point is this. Most importantly, I have done quite a few measurements of Steam broadcast impact on your system. Specifically, I have measured loads on my CPU as well as memory. Now, if you're not aware, the CPU I've got is Intel i7-3820. and the memory I am using is Corsair Vengeance 1600 megahertz, 8 gigabytes. Right now in front of me, I have composed 4 graphs, 2 for memory, 2 for CPU usage, and each of those for either OBS plus Twitch stream or Steam broadcast. So let's begin with our usual suspect, that is OBS and Twitch broadcast, so that I could compare the hardware usage and pressure that these pieces of software have on hardware. I did try and use as similar settings as possible. However, you know, there's only so much you can do when Steam provides very limited info what settings they use for broadcasting. However, what I was able to acquire, what knowledge I was able to learn, I tried and used the same settings. So that would be 3500 kilobit per second ratio and 1080p at 30 frames per second. So, bottom left, we see a CPU usage for streaming on Twitch with OBS, and on average, OBS used around 30% of the CPU. I don't have software that would record individual core usage, because as I've said before, I've got i7-3820, but this is just overall CPU usage. I'm sorry, I cannot go any specific. Maybe sometime in the future. Insurgency, on the other hand, used even less than that, or averaging about 22% of CPU. Other software, that's Steam itself, running in the background, and a few other programs like antivirus, Norton Antivirus, Chrome, Spotify, I believe I had it running in the background as well, contribute to only 4% of CPU usage, and 45%, a nice big chunk of CPU, is being unused at the time. Now, in terms of memory is being used on a heavier scale than the CPU. Insurgency contributed the biggest chunk, 1.75 gigabytes, 1 3/4, whereas OBS contributed around 650 megabytes, give or take. I know the third biggest contributor was Chrome, because I was not only watching my own stream just so I would have the chat open, I had a couple of other web pages available just in case I would need to quickly look something up. So I believe Chrome contributed just under 400 megabytes. Also, when my computer is idle, the memory usage averages around 3.5 gigabytes. So if you take these 3 main contributors away, that is Insurgency, OBS, and Chrome, which doesn't feature in this graph, but I said contributes around 400 megabytes, you will get that the usage is around 3.5 gigabytes. So no, there's no hidden programs or a hidden usage coming from unexpected sources. Going to stream broadcast, I have CPU usage in comparison. Steam, obviously, blue charts, Twitch and OBS white charts. So Steam above the CPU usage above each other, and memory usage above each other. So let's begin with the CPU usage for Steam broadcasting. Steam itself used on average 21%. Now, the thing with the CPU usage, when I broadcasted using Steam, it was very unstable. So it would jump between roughly 40 and 75%, and I am not really sure why this happened. However, these data values are averages I took for that given period of 10-15 minutes that I broadcasted. So on average, Steam consumed around 21% of CPU power, CPU calculating power. However, it did range from 16 to 30% of CPU. Insurgency averaged to 26%. However, it ranged from 20 to 32, roughly. So we've got that little, not a little, no, quite a big interval of instability where it goes up and down. I think that could be indicative of the fact that Steam Broadcasting is still on beta and the optimization is not really there yet. However, other software, other programs used up around 15%. I'm not really sure whether there are any secondary apps launched by Steam to help with the broadcast, or do the encoding or whatever it needs to do. However, free CPU usage was around 40%, so around 40% of CPU calculating power was not being used, which was still, comparatively decent result. Memory usage was slightly lighter than OBS. Again, I don't think the difference is big enough where we could draw clear conclusions that Steam Broadcasting doesn't use as much memory as OBS plus Twitch. But for those 15 or so minutes that I used Steam Broadcasting, the memory usage was quite clear and consistent, same as with the OBS and Twitch stream. And the data values are as follows. Insurgency, 1.7 gigabytes. Steam Web Helper, which was an app launched by Steam, I believe for no other reason than help with the broadcast. 660 megabytes. Stayed consistent and exact the same throughout all of the broadcasting. I don't have, like I've said before, I don't have software that lists all of the memory or CPU using software programs. I only see the top 3 contributors, and the third contributor was again Chrome, which added around 350 megabytes. However, Steam itself was not figuring there, which makes me think whether Steam itself, the Steam platform itself, does any of the job, whether it's encoding, transmitting, or broadcasting, or is it all done by this little app called Steam Web Helper? I will look into it more, and if there's anyone interested, I would be happy to share the results and my insights. Because when I come from this Twitch, the way Twitch works, it's quite loud and clear. It's quite simple. You have a third-party streaming program software that you associate with your Twitch channel, and then you upload the video to Twitch, video and audio, and Twitch then broadcasts it to whoever wants to watch it. How Steam does it, it's a bit more tricky. I've read somewhere that the streaming quality depends on the availability of local Steam servers. Now I wonder what that indicates, and how is that going to affect the stream. I'm not sure I will be able to find that piece of info right here, but basically quite a few answers are given in the FAQ section. Not a lot of them, and not the most important ones, but the basics are there. The basics indeed are there. What I will add is I find the minimalistic user interface quite lacking. Now, like everything, it's a double-edged sword. From one hand, I would not be surprised if after releasing this feature from beta, which I'm sure they will, because it will definitely gain enough ground and popularity to be released as a full feature, rather than being something in the works as it is right now. I very much see Steam leaving user interface as minimalistic as it is, because when you have less options to fiddle with, and when you have less of a user interface, when you keep it nice and simple and clear, it does make overall experience smoother and more fluent, especially when it comes to people who do this for fun, who would broadcast or watch broadcasts of their friends, because Twitch as a platform is much more of a a professional thing rather than something that would people do for fun or just for their friends. And it makes sense because you have the whole partnership thing going with Twitch, where you can start earning money by receiving subscribers. At the same time, people can donate you, and a lot of streamers do ask for donations, or no, that's the wrong phrasing. A lot of streamers welcome donations from their viewers. So there's that level of professionalism, and with that, there has to come a certain level of upgradability or usability or ability to modify and individualize your stream or your channel. With Steam, because it's integrated in this Steam, I see it at this very stage, this very early stage, more as a simple tool where you can share some fun content with your friends, and there is just not enough options and not enough elbow space for more serious streamers to move over here from Twitch. Simple reason being, Twitch is something they earn money from, and they need ability to do that, as well as ability to individualize, because that's another big thing about Twitch. Different channels, different streamers are very individual. They distinguish themselves from the crowd. That's what makes them going, and that's what keeps viewers coming or coming back, because they're individual, they're unique. With the Steam, you still don't have that ability to change your user interface, individualize your broadcast. It's very samey. It's gonna be the game overlay with a little chat in the corner showing the bitrate, the viewer count, and that is not much. But as I've said before, I'm very much see Steam leaving it as it is. Again, it depends which road they want to take. If they want to go full on and compete with Twitch, become a full-fledged alternative to Twitch for professional streamers to come over and do their living, earn money by broadcasting games on Steam, that is fair enough. That is very much welcome. It's about time someone stood up. Hell, maybe that would help Twitch. Maybe that would give them a kick in the butt and would help them increase their stream quality. There's still loads of issues with streams when it comes to watching them on Twitch. Buffering times, straight up connection issues, streams going offline randomly, where there's just lost connection between either the viewer and Twitch or broadcaster and Twitch. It's been so big and so popular for so long. It's still weird that, these things are still present and these issues are still around. So maybe that little bit of competition, which hopefully Steam will bring, and I'm sure it will make Twitch think twice and increase the quality of the service they provide. Now, again, the possibilities, if they decide to go on, if Steam decides to pursue that professional side of broadcasting, the possibilities are limitless. And from what I've seen today, both on the quality and the way the Steam broadcasting service used my hardware, I was quite impressed. Like I've said, the stream quality was great. It was crisp. It was clear. Again, I believe that also depends whether you have that elbow room with your own upload speed that's available to you as a user with your broadband, which is provided to you by your ISP. If you've got enough of an upload speed going on for you, other people should not have a single problem watching. And if you've got enough download speed, you should not be able to bump into any issues while watching somebody else's broadcast. Steam itself appears to be doing job perfectly, and only issues with either your download speed as a viewer or upload speed as a broadcaster might, decrease the quality of the stream. So that is great. Again, user interface is minimalistic, but it does the job at this time. You have a chat to interact with your viewers. You have a viewer count. The notification, the whole thing comes up live when someone starts watching your broadcast. The only thing that I was really missing is the little indicator whether my microphone was activated or not. Although I know it was activated all the time, I'm used to seeing that, you know, how high my microphone is going or how low it is. So it was kind of a speaking in the dark or into the darkness a little bit to me. But that was the only negative aspect I've seen. Well, you know, there are a lot of things you can pick on, but you do have to realize it's Steam Beta. It's early, and it's looking great so far. And I'm very excited about this quite unexpected feature. But I do hope that Steam follows through and especially listens to what people have to say, because they've known not to pay that much attention to their community in the past. So hopefully this is gonna be a new experience for them, where they will be able to reflect and implement the services that people want to see. So yeah, my name is Integer. I've been looking into the new service that Steam provides, Steam Broadcasting, which has been released today, 2nd of December, is still in beta, and I'm sure that Steam would be very much appreciable of any comments or feedback you would have about it. Also, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Drop me a comment and a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, telling me why did you enjoy it. Also, check out my Twitch channel, which I will inevitably still be streaming on, as well as my Facebook page and Twitter. Links to all of my socials will be found down below in the description. So thank you very much for your time, and happy stream broadcasting, everyone.